When a family decides that they're ready to add a piglet to their household, the next step after lots of research and talking to other pig owners is finding a good breeder. What makes a good breeder? What makes an ethical breeder? That's what I'm going to talk about today, okay? Because choosing a breeder is the single most important decision that you'll make when it comes to pig ownership. If you find the right breeder, that breeder is going to provide you with a happy, healthy, social, well-adjusted little piglet, and the transition shouldn't be difficult. It should be nice and easy. So the breeder you choose is going to make this a fantastic experience, or going to make it a really horrible experience for all involved. So how can you tell if a breeder is ethical or not? How can you tell if they're a good breeder? That's what I'm going to talk about. Okay, the first thing that you want to do when you stumble across a breeder, when you find one, is don't be afraid to ask them questions. It's so important to ask them questions. Find out things about them as a person. You know, why are they a breeder? Do they love pigs? Do they want to... Are they kind of just in it to make money because they feel like it's a trend and they can capitalize on that? Or do they really love pigs? That's really important because it's going to tell you a lot about their practices. Also, don't be afraid to look them up on social media. If they do not have a social media page and they do not provide tons of information on it with pictures of the parents and pictures of the piglets throughout stages of their life so far, I would steer away from them because it seems as though they're hiding something. Don't go with anyone who you feel is hiding things. Look for somebody who puts it all out there. People who are doing nothing wrong, so they have nothing to hide. And social media is going to tell you that. Also, if you ask them questions and they don't really answer them fully, maybe they kind of hem-haw or just give you a quick answer, don't go with them. Look for somebody who's willing to talk, willing to answer questions, wants to talk about it, why they have pigs. If they want to talk about it, they love their pigs, that's a key indication that they're a good breeder. So, a good breeder now, I'm going to talk about some of the things that a good breeder will be or do, okay? A good breeder is going to be knowledgeable. They're going to be able to answer all your questions about pigs for the most part. You know, sometimes people throw a question in there that you're like, oh, I've never dealt with that. But for the most part, they should be able to answer all your questions, provide you with as much information as you can handle, have resources to send you, have explanations and videos and posts and things that are going to help you to be able to answer your questions before you decide, okay? That is such a key point. A breeder who's going to talk you into getting a pig is not a breeder you want. You want somebody who's going to try to help you make the decision and figure out if a pig is right for you. Now, it's really important to visit the site, but I understand that not everybody can do that. So if you can't visit the site, again, checking them out on social media is another way that you're going to be able to find out, like, what the parents look like, how old are the parents. You know, you can go back to those first posts and you can see how long they've been breeding. You can see how old the pigs are, all of those things by tracking them on social media. Also being able to see like the conditions that the piglets are raised in. Is it clean? You know, that kind of a thing. You'll be able to see that. And if you want more, they should be willing to provide like real-time pictures and videos for you so that you can see those things firsthand. Again, looking for transparency is really important. If you think they're hiding things, keep looking for another breeder. A good breeder will also love and care for their adult pigs just as much as the babies. They should know their pigs. They should have stories about them. They should know their health history. They should know their temperament and their personality, you know, what they like, what they don't like. Do they eat so fast that they choke every time, so they try to put water over their food? You know, stories about them, things like that. That's going to tell you a lot. Also about the piglets. Do they know their piglets well? Do they spend time with them? Do they know their personalities and what their favorite thing to do is, or what their favorite snack is, or their favorite blanket, or whatever maybe difficulties they have. You know, they really hate the harness, or they aren't doing well potty training, that kind of a thing. What is their thing? A good breeder is also going to make sure that potential families understand the pros and cons of pig ownership, not kind of fluffing it up and making it seem wonderful. Educating families before they decide, helping them to prepare once they decide, and then supporting them for years to come. We're all going to stumble across things that are new. So do you have a breeder that's going to support you and try to help you along if you run into any difficulties? Now, when it comes to the piglets, a breeder is going to take really good care of them, realizing that the health of the piglet and the betterment of the breed is way important than what goes in your pocket, the money, okay? This means that they're not going to use any misleading words when it comes to advertising their piglets. So, teacup, that's a big one. Micro, mini, nano, apartment, tiny. What other ones did I have? Pixie. Because they understand that these words are misleading. And when a breeder places a piglet in a home, they should want that piglet to be there forever. So they want everyone to be able to have real expectations as to what they're getting. Also realizing that high volumes are not always better. You know, if you have high volumes of piglets born all the time, can you really socialize and know them individually? I don't think so, but I'm sure some can. I can't. Also, a breeder who is looking out for the life of each piglet is not going to have exorbitant prices, like into the thousands of dollars, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. I've seen them $8,000. That's ridiculous. You can't tell me that that person is more interested in the life of the piglet than they are their pocketbook. It's ridiculous. Now, I have a list of things that I feel are non-negotiable when it comes to a good breeder, okay? These are the things that they're gonna offer with the price of their piglet, all included, okay? It should be simple health things like dewormed, vaccinated, microchipped. Microchipping is just a safety precaution that the breeder should do. Also, I personally feel that each piglet should be fixed. Now, there are a lot of things that go into that, you know. Fixing a piglet it can be expensive. My vet is not ridiculously expensive. It's $100 and I think $25 to get a male fixed and $225 to get a female fixed. So, and that's just a little baby. The older or the bigger it gets, the more expensive it is. So this price goes up to 10 pounds. After 10 pounds, that price goes up. So it's important to understand that it's not cheap to get a piglet fixed, and it's even worse if you don't have a vet that is knowledgeable and that, you know, knows what they're doing. That's important. That is one reason why I spay and have all my piglets spayed and neutered before they leave. I trust our vet. They are 100% know what they're doing, extremely knowledgeable about pigs. So that is something that I do. But I really do think it's important for a breeder to have that done beforehand. Piglet should be social, for real. Social for real. I've gotten so many social piglets in my life that I can't stand it. It's such a fabrication of the truth that this piglet has been socialized for a day or two, or even a week or two. No, you can't socialize a piglet in a week or two. You have to socialize a piglet from birth. Litter box trained. For real. I've had several litter box trained piglets. They are not litter box trained. They're introduced to a litter box, but they still don't know what to do with it because it's been a day or two or even a week or two. Introducing from birth is the absolute best thing to do. They catch on really quickly, and then it's really imprinted on them that this is where you go potty. Medical records, I think, are really important to make sure that that the breeder provides you, because if they have the medical records, it's proof of what's been done. You can take it to your vet and say, okay, this is what's been done. And so you don't have to worry about that. Also, your vet will know, if your vet isn't super knowledgeable, then they can at least go off what my vet has already done. And I just think it's nice to have the medical records. They will also provide a breeder guarantee. A breeder guarantee says, I do not starve my piglets to keep them small. I do not inbreed any of my pigs. I do not breed young females or males. I take care of my adult pigs. I love my adult pigs. They are part of our family. They're very well cared for, that they have vet visits as well. They're not just left out in a barn or a building to fend for themselves, but then I take the piglets. The piglets are not taken from their mother. They should stay with her for 6 to 8 weeks. What else? Everyone is cared for. Everyone is cared for, not just the piglets, but the adult pigs as well. A good breeder is also going to want any piglets back that may need rehomed. Maybe a family stumbled into financial difficulties, maybe there was a tragedy, something happened and they can't keep this piglet. So the breeder should want them back, because so many pigs are just like set free. That's a new trend right now. People are just setting their pigs free to fend for themselves. They drop them off at rescues, sanctuaries, put them on Craigslist for free, which is really horrible. Please don't ever do that, because people looking for free pork are going to take them, fatten them up, and butcher them. So please don't do that. A small fee is always good, but please just, your breeder should want them back, because as a breeder, we have a way of finding homes that maybe other people don't have that ability. So, and we're not going to be in a rush. Okay. So remember, the breeder should want them back if anything were to happen. A breeder should also teach manners, biting. No biting. Biting is unacceptable. So they should know how to correct that. They should also be able to teach you how to correct it. They should also have a welcome packet, an introduction to pigs, reminders, feeding, reminders for different times of the year, foods that are toxic or poisonous or things to watch out for, behaviors to watch out for, things like that. Things that are going to be able to help you into the future with your pig should offer that. They should also have a crate for you and a blanket with their scent on it, so that the piglet has some reminder of home. I've shown up to pick up a piglet and I had to bring my own crate, and that was awkward. So I really feel it's important for the breeder to supply that. They should also offer support for the life of the pig. Like I already mentioned, that's really important. A breeder should be involved in the life of the pig if the family wants them to. They should want updates and that kind of a thing. And then my last thing that I think is non-negotiable is that I feel like on pickup day, there should be a discussion. There should be a education so that they know what to expect from the piglet. They know its history, they know its temperament, its personality, all of those things. The breeder should share that with the family. And now here's a few things that I think just kind of give a breeder extra credit. More of kind of going like above and beyond type of a thing. Number one, the piglets living in the house for their whole life and being used to like family noises and household noises, that is definitely a perk for sure. Being crate trained, a piglet who is crate trained is going to have less of a stressful travel. They're going to have to travel some way, whether it's by car or airplane, no matter what. they need to understand that a crate is a safe place. And if they understand that, then their travel is going to be much, much smoother. A piglet that is not crate trained, has never been in a crate, has never been in a car, has never like moved around, that kind of a thing, is going to have extremely stressful travel. It's going to be so scary for them, and they're probably going to go to the bathroom a lot and step in it and scatter it all over and be disgusting and dirty by the time that you go to get them out. So by making travel not stressful, that crate training is, it can be a real lifesaver. Harness training a piglet is not easy. It is loud, they are scared, it's hard to put them on them. Those are things that, again, it's above and beyond. Teaching a piglet that a harness is safe is something that can help with travel also, because I've delivered piglets or met people, and I wanted the piglet to get out and go to the bathroom. So I was able to get out at a rest stop because the piglet was harness trained and leash trained, or at least leash introduced, that I was able to do that, and it makes it so much easier for a family. Leash trained, or at least leash introduced, it takes a while to leash train, and sometimes it takes a while to harness train. So harness training first and then adding a leash to that, it takes a lot of pressure, and it just teaches the piglet, like I said, it makes travel easier and that kind of a thing. Taught tricks, taught to listen, taught not to associate a hand with food, that kind of a thing. That's a manner thing. Doing those kinds of things are, again, above and beyond. Bathed regularly, or at least a couple times, is going to introduce a pig to a bath, and it's going to allow them to not be so afraid. So these are just the couple things just off the top of my head that I really think make a good ethical breeder. I try to do all of them. I haven't always done all of them. I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to really just do the best for the betterment of the breed, the betterment of my adults, making sure that they're not overbred, making sure that they get a nice break in between, making sure that they're cared for and loved, and that when they come in the house, they're a little spoiled, that kind of a thing. I try to go above and beyond. I've had quite a bit of experience with other breeders, and I just feel like they all lie so much. They all lied to me anyways. So it's important, really do your homework. Check out a breeder before you decide. Never adopt a piglet on a whim, especially from a breeder you don't know, because you just don't know what you're getting. And like I said before, it can make or break an experience with a pig. So choosing an ethical, knowledgeable breeder is just so important. So I hope this video is able to help, and if anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on social media. I try to answer all the questions I get. I get a lot, but I try to answer them all. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching my videos. I appreciate it.